Hi everybody! This is my confession. I have committed a crime. And I didn't mean to look as like blasé about it as that probably looked. I didn't know about this crime and I committed a crime, and I'm confessing. I've confessed to the officials, and now I'm, would it be reparations? Maybe not reparations. Maybe the video and passing on knowledge is reparations. Yeah. You might be able to hear the chickens. I haven't left the driveway completely yet. So some of you know that I always help move eastern box turtles from one side of the road to the other when I find them crossing the road. When you find turtles crossing the road, you're supposed to, if you can stop safely and help, you're supposed to move it to the side of the road it's traveling. So that happens a lot up here. Yes, chickies. That happens a lot up here when it rains, and during the spring there's a lot of turtles. And over the years I've thought, that I discovered that I think it's the male turtles have red eyes and the female turtles have the kind of yellow or brown eyes. And I have thought that these larger turtles have had babies because there's been smaller turtles in the road, which excite me. But this is a well-traveled road now as more people live up here and more construction up here and that kind of thing. And years ago, the first year I had the truck, I hit one by accident. Our road is curvy, and I came around a curve, and I wasn't quite used to the truck yet. That's my excuse. You know, the Jeep has such a short wheelbase on it that I saw that turtle, and I swerved to try to go, like, roll across the top of it, and I hit it with my rear wheel of the truck, I think because it has such a longer wheelbase that I didn't think about anyway, very traumatic, smushing a turtle. And so now I watch extra careful to try to move the turtles. So yesterday when I went to do errands, no turtles in the road. When I came back from the grocery store, there was this little turtle in the road, and so I stopped to move it, but it wasn't moving. It wasn't really trying to move. It didn't go in its shell and close the door and all of that stuff, and it had a crack down it, and blood was everywhere. Ants were all over it, a big swarm of ants. So I still moved it to the side of the road. Sorry, I should have put a disclaimer. Blood and gore. This might be graphic for some people. So I moved it to the side of the road, and it kind of put its feet out and but it didn't get the ground. It just looked almost dead. I would have still left it, except when two people pass on our road, you kind of swerve off into the side, and I thought it's still going to hit if it doesn't crawl off the road and down the ditch. It's still going to get hit, and I thought, oh, it's going to die anyway with all these ants all over it. So I brought it home. So I'm going to show you the turtle and continue talking. Okay, I think you can see him. So I brought him home last night. I didn't know if he'd prefer flat rocks, gravel rocks, or leaves, and I put him in. And you can see if the video's aimed right. It's so bright out here. You can see that there's blood. His shell is cracked. Come here, buddy. His shell is cracked, and he'd been bleeding. It comes up like a Y, goes both directions, and he's chipped right there. So he's still bleeding. When I researched last night, first of all, I put him in this container with leaves, the flat rocks, and the gravel rocks. And I put him above on my plant seed starter shelf where I have the seed heater mat thing, because I know reptiles and things like heat. So I had a lid on this because I like air conditioning, cold air conditioning, and I knew he wouldn't. So I put him on the heat mat and left him in there. I didn't cover it. I probably should have given him more darkness, but whatever. And then in the middle of the night or the wee hours, I heard him scritching around like that. So he was finally moving. He had been when I first brought him, when I first had him alongside the road, I thought he was giving like his final breaths, because he would take this huge breath, his whole shell would move, and then he'd stop. And then this what looked like a huge breath, his shell would move, and then he'd stop. So sad. So when I brought him up there to the house and put him in this container and put him on the heat pad, he just laid there until the wee hours of the night. And then I heard this gravel scratching. So I knew he wasn't dead. So I was so glad about that. But doing my research to see what to do to help him, or if there's reptile rehab places in the area, I found out that I was committing a crime in West Virginia. So eastern box turtles are, I'll have to put it in text on the video, endangered, or their population has decreasing a lot based on people taking them for pets, and based on things like us, like up here, we've become a more populated community, so we run over them, that kind of thing. So you are not allowed in West Virginia to collect them, to take them home, that kind of thing. So yikes, committing a crime. And so I got a hold of DNR this morning, and what he said that to go ahead and put it back, that turtles are extremely resilient, even with some of their shell missing, with a leg missing, that kind of thing, they're still resilient. He said to heal, they like to bask, so they like to be where it's warm. So I did a really good job of putting him on the seed heating mat, and that maybe is what helped him revive. And so he said that they like to bask. So today is a super hot day. They have a really small range, territory, so you're supposed to put them back exactly where you got them from. So I can't remember. It's on one of two curves, but they're very close, so it should be still its territory. And he said, release it, it'll go find a place to bask. And I said, but if it's not on the road, it's going to be down in the shade. And he said, that's fine, it'll find a place to recover. And so I'm getting ready to go put my friend back and try to let other people know that don't take eastern box turtles for pets. They're becoming low in population. Try to watch for them on the road. If you're not the type that wants to get out and move them across the road, just be very careful and go around very carefully. The other thing is the territories are small. They're very small, so do not take a turtle from like this area. I would think where these turtles cross, I would think there's a better spot for them down by the creek. And no, that's not true. So don't try to move them to what you think is a better area, because they have their own territory. It's a small area, and they will try to go back to where their territory is, and then usually get harmed in the process, often get harmed in the process. So, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Dawn. I'm a criminal. And I'm going to go put this little guy back down there where I found him, because he looks way better off than he was yesterday. And so I want him to be able to go eat, drink, recover, be home, not be terrified in my house. And I wanted to share the news with you. Don't take home eastern box turtles, not in West Virginia, probably not your state either. There you go, pretty girl, get on down there. I tried to put her in a spot that, see how this side of the road that she was headed towards just dips way down in there. I ain't going down there. So I tried to put her in a spot that the traffic is far enough off the road that the traffic won't run off the road, to get her, not to get her intentionally, but hopefully this is a safe spot for her. Hopefully she recovers.